Hey everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I'm taking a look at Lethal League. This is a game from Team Reptile. It's available now on Steam for the Windows platform, and is $14. There are also options for a 2-pack and a 4-pack, which make it a little less for each copy, but I'm going to jump right in. As far as the modes, I'm only going to be playing like the single player mode. There is online multiplayer, which is really awesome to see. There's a versus mode where you can play some local multiplayer as well as play against bots. I'm going to do the extra challenge mode, which basically is sort of a story mode, if you will. And there's, you know, I always say that I don't necessarily like directly comparing to other games for these videos, but I seemingly do it a lot, and something tells me that maybe I don't mind that much, because this is another case where I'm going to do that. And what I kind of feel about this game is where Dive Kick was indie games' answer to like Street Fighter, Lethal League feels like indie games' answer to Super Smash Bros. And that's awesome. And it, you know, it's really, really good. I really like everything about it. And the reason I say Super Smash Bros. Is because it's got this kind of style, right? There's definitely like the makings of a fighting game here, but it's not a traditional fighting game. It's more of an arena fighting game. And that's where I'm getting sort of the, you know, some of the Smash Bros. Influence here. As far as what the gameplay is, it's super simple, which I really appreciate. And again, that's kind of another thing that evokes Smash Bros. A bit, is that it's got this really easy to pick up and play, but really, you know, there's a lot of strategic depth to it that allows for, you know, I guess it would take a lot of gameplay to master, basically. Kind of the, you know, the cliche, easy to pick up, hard to master. Basically what's happening here is you see we've got the ball, and once you hit it, it changes to your color. So in this case, I'm Team Red. The other character there, Switch, is Team Blue. So that's basically what's happening here, is that we are trying to hit the opponent with the ball when it's our color. And you can see at the top there, it's got a really nice, you know, UI basically for letting you know quickly what's going on in the match and where the rankings are. So, you know, the bars at the top represent how many lives we have left. The game basically works in, you know, short matches like this, or at least they are short if it's one-on-one. You can, you know, it does go up to 4 players, so it can definitely get a little lengthier at times. But you know what's going to happen is that the first person, in this case, who can beat the other person 5 times wins. And as far as like how we do that, we've got 2 basic moves, really. We can hit it, which is what I'm doing now. We can also bunt it, which there's kind of a trade-off for bunting, and I'll show off bunting here in just a second. Sorry, I was afraid that this might happen. I should mention, okay, so what happened there was the game crashed. I have had no problems at all with the game crashing when I'm not recording, but as soon as I start recording, it has a tendency to crash. So I think it's probably just got some problems with my recording software. So I don't want to fault the game for that, because it's not my personal experience that it's been crashing outside of recording, but I would check out, you know, the Steam community hub for the game. I would check out other people's videos, things like that, in order to find out if it's, you know, a more severe problem. But I can say that the game has not crashed on me at all, except when trying to record, which is unfortunate, but luckily we can solve that issue pretty fast there. So that's a bunt. And the reason that I say it's kind of a risk-reward is the thing with the bunt is that after a bunt, the ball will raise speed significantly, right? It raises speed after every hit, but after a bunt, it'll raise more so than it would if it was just a normal hit. But bunting it automatically puts the ball kind of into a free-for-all, so you can't actually get a point off of a bunt, if that makes sense. And I might lose here, which is really kind of embarrassing. Alright, that was kind of lucky there. But yeah, like I said, the gameplay is super, super simple. And it's the kind of thing that anyone can pick up and play, which I super appreciate. Yes. That was nice. But, like I said, there is actually, like, a lot of strategy to it. Yeah, and sometimes I'm just really bad. But, as far as, like, what's here for content, I feel like there's actually quite a bit of content here. And I've had fun even just playing the game single player. That being said, I feel like where the game will really shine is multiplayer. And further than that, I think where the game will really shine is local multiplayer. Kind of the same thing that I feel about games like Smash Bros. Again. They are, to me, they feel like they're meant to be played, sitting next to the person that you're playing against. I can definitely imagine that the online community will probably be pretty fun for this, but it's the kind of game that feels like it will really benefit from playing with the person you're sitting with, and kind of treating it like a party game, which I think is, in my mind, kind of the intention of the game, maybe. So, it's super easy to recommend, even just based on playing single player. If you're into online multiplayer, that's an added bonus. And if you've got someone that you play games local multiplayer with often, I would say that's just like a no-brainer then to pick this up, because this is kind of following this string lately of like really, really good indie multiplayer games. And it's one of the best that in my opinion that I've played. I'd put this up there with like Dive Kick as probably being one of my favorite indie multiplayer games to come out. If you haven't noticed, right, the ball speeds up after every hit, which is kind of what keeps it interesting, and it's also what keeps matches pretty short. So, one strategy is to kind of do what I'm doing here and go for multiple hits in a row. The only problem is, of course, if you, if the opponent does manage to hit your ball, then you've got a really, really fast ball coming at you. So that is something to look out for, but that's more just like gameplay strategy stuff, and you'll kind of figure out your own strategies as you play. As far as other parts of the game, I think the art is like super crisp. I really, really like it a lot. It's kind of got this. It evokes a bit of like Jet Set Radio to me, but pixelated, right? It's kind of a pixelated Jet Set Radio, which I think is a really cool idea. And honestly, I think it all looks really, really good. Each of the characters looks really unique, which is nice to see. And we've got kind of this, even though it's a small cast of characters, it's a pretty good difference between all of them, I guess. They've all got kind of their unique style, and I think that's really cool. But what I think the game, where the game really shines as far as the art goes, is the environments. Like, the levels look incredible. And I think my favorite thing about the levels is just like the different layers of depth going through all the levels. Like we've got kind of this layer that we're fighting on, but then there's always some pretty cool and interesting stuff going in the background as well, which just gives you a lot to look at, and it makes the whole game look really, really nice, in my opinion. I'd say the art may actually be one of my favorite things about the game. And that's, taking into account that I like everything about the game so far. Wow, I am doing terrible. And then I guess, the last thing would be the music, which I also think is really, really good. I've definitely been enjoying the soundtrack. Wow, yeah, I am really bad. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna watch my computer partner lose here. Most likely. Yep. Yeah, I think the whole soundtrack is really good. Everything I've heard so far is, it's really good. Unfortunately, we had another crash there. It seems every time that I'm trying to continue, it crashes when I'm recording again. I guess what I'm going to do is I'll just let it sit on the main menu. As soon as it pops back up here, really about to wrap up anyways, though. Again, sorry for the crashes. That's really unfortunate to see in a video, but there's not much I can do about it. And now it doesn't want to. There we go. Yeah, but honestly, this is a very, very easy game to to recommend, and I think that you should definitely consider going out and grabbing it. If if you're into games like Smash Bros. And you've wanted an experience like that on the PC, I think this is kind of your answer for that. I think it's worth it, like I said, even just for the single-player portion alone, but it just gets better, I would imagine, the more people that you add in and turn it into a party multiplayer game to play with a couple of your friends. I think that is probably where the game is really going to shine. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very high quality game. Really great art, really, really great music, and the gameplay is a blast as well. So it's definitely got the whole package, and it's one of the most interesting fighting games I've played in a long time. So that is where we're going to wrap up for today. Again, so sorry about the crashes. I do promise that has not happened to me at all when not recording, so just want to make sure that is notified. But as always, feel free to comment if there's anything that you would like to comment about. Subscribe to see more from me every single day, and of course, if you like the video, please do consider clicking the like button. But as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.